We are making test and connect. Так, что у нас еще? Все вроде это включено, тут все включено.
Hello, dear colleagues. It's 9 o'clock and time to start. I appreciate very much that you all here with us now.
Какая проблема со звуком?
Я...
Тоже все хорошо, тебя слышно.
Is everything okay? Okay. I'd like to introduce Alina Daskanova, technical delegate of Russia. And I'd like to propose to give her words in our conference. Please, Alina.
Thank you, Alexei. Thank you, everyone who is here. Welcome to our Future Skills Camp in Additive Technology. I would like to welcome you from WorldSkills Russia, who is the initiator of these future skills. And I would like just shortly mention that for us, it's very important to develop our skills and go on with skills development in our countries, for our experts, for our competitors, for our students, and for our population. And even through this pandemic situation, we believe that international cooperation and joint development will give us great success, not only just for skills as competition and for competition system, but also we now develop together with you users learning program, the new models for education program in our university, in our colleges, as well as we develop a new model of economic cooperation between our countries. So thank you for all of you who joined this program, because we believe that you are the leaders who will continue the skills development across your country. And also for us, it's important that additive technology will be official skills since Shanghai 2021. So we're really sure that we will meet you soon on live venue, as well as we are interested to develop joint cooperation program in joint education program between Russian universities and Russian educational partners and all educational institutions which you present. So good luck with this training course, and thank you that you joined this course. Thank you, Alexei, that you lead this program. It's a big investment from your side, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alina. Let's start. Just a minute. Just a minute. Где мышь? Где у меня share? Демонстрация экрана. Yeah.
Каждый раз надо установить заново, если новую программу откроете.
Let's see. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Alex Vekut. In the 2010, I proposed to create new educational state standard for vocational education, additive manufacturing in Russia. and I propose to create new skill in 14th. So from 14th, we has been developing this skill in Russia, and we have some experience. I understand quite well that all of us from different countries, and we have different situation in our countries, different conditions. That is why we have different view to additive manufacturing as a skill. But today I'll try to share part of our experience in development of this skill that could be, or maybe even definitely will be useful for you in your countries and in your educational institutions. I think that you need to have personal reasons. I think that I need to underline this word, personal. Personal reasons to join and personal reasons to develop this skill in your institutions, in your countries. And that is why I decided to start from this point. Why it could be interesting for you, and what is benefits from development of this skill. So reasons to join. Just a minute. Yeah. All of us know quite well that additive manufacturing has demonstrated rapid growth in all countries all over the world. This is not news, in fact. And additive manufacturing is demanded in all industries and grow in all industries. Demand for additive manufacturing will grow, and that means demand for staff in additive manufacturing also will grow. Right now, in all countries, somebody is looking for additive manufacturing staff. Here you can see some screenshots from Indeed resource, but I believe that in your countries you have own resources for staff seeking, and I think that you will find that in your countries also there are some demand for additive manufacturing personnel. Additive manufacturing is a part of Industry 4.0 and one of the global employment trend, and that is very important for us. This word trend. I try to explain a little bit later why. Also, additive manufacturing skill, additive manufacturing compliance with standards. I mean, labor standards. And additive manufacturing is a global educational trend. I think that you understand why. Because of this word trend, additive manufacturing is very media attractive, and additive manufacturing skill is media attractive too. From the very beginning, in 2014, we decided to develop our skill not only as a skill, but as an exhibition project too. That is why we attract media in all our championships. Here you can see a championship in China last year, championship in Ekaterinburg last year in autumn. This is Kazan. And because of additive manufacturing is a trend, because it's attractive for media, it's attractive for decision makers too, because it looks persuasive, it looks convenient. And you can see these two ladies. It's deputy ministers of Russian Federation. This is from 16th, and this one from last year in Kazan. We are all, or most of us, from educational institutions. Definitely, our goal in institutions, in educational institutions, to give education, vocational education or higher education, doesn't matter. In all skills, our goal is transfer of best educational practice and also education for young people. But we couldn't work without decision makers' support. And that is very important. Please pay attention to this moment. Additive manufacturing could attract funding to your educational institutions, and that will help you to give better education, because it helps us to equip much better than without funding. I think it's quite clear. The second reason, maybe a little bit funny, but not funny at all. I think we have the same problem in all countries. We need, as educators, as teachers, as trainers, we need to fight every day and every moment for students' attentions, for our people attentions, fight with mobiles, fight with smartphones, fight with communicators. And it's very difficult for us, for you, I believe that, as teachers. Additive manufacturing helps to fight for this attention, because, first of all, because it is a global trend. It's modern, and they like everything modern. But also, it gives us a way to organize to create projects with our students and catch most talented of them with these projects. New generation, from my point of view, is very special. They like speed. They do everything very fast because of technologies and additive manufacturing. Слушайте, а можно закрыть окно здесь или чтобы сквозняка не было? Give them technology that they like. Because ordinary way of education, when we usually use from the simple to difficult, from the beginning, this way is not very good for them, as most of them think. They think it's boring enough, and they lose interest very fast, and then it is very difficult to catch this interest again. By the additive manufacturing and parts of additive manufacturing, we can catch this interest. And here you can see a sample of such project with students of university when I'm sitting this time, when I'm take place. Project with rebuilding, redesigning of some parts of racing motor. So here are some pictures from the beginning. We have a real motorbike, and we made a 3D scan of it. Then we clean some parts or select some parts from 3D scan, create model, and test then this model with CAE. Then we create molding form, or sort of it, with here we have definitely a 3D model of this form, this matrix. Then we printed it with FDM printer and create the real part. It is very important for young people to do something cool that they think is cool. And motor race definitely cool in this system of valuable things, as I think. Well, installation of this part and result of installation of this part, Kawasaki won. And third reason. Third reason is, well, it's always quite difficult, you see, to choose one of 2 or 3 talented guys which you trained during the year from one side, and every one of us want to win, want victory for his contestant. Additive manufacturing and CAD a little bit similar, or even similar time to time. And for development of additive manufacturing, if you already develop CAD skill, you need only a few things. First of all, software, and definitely reason to develop additive manufacturing. That's all. So that means you can send to regional stage of your national championship two contestants from your educational institution. And that means it increases chances for victory for the institution, for gold medal or other medals. And we have exactly the same situation. This guy is or was a competitor from China. He was working very hard for CAD design, but he wasn't selected for CAD design. And he came to Kazan to additive manufacturing skill and won. That's what I say. So we have three main reasons. One reason, first one, I think from my point of view, it's most important. It gives us new opportunity to develop our educational institutions, because it helps us to influence to decision makers and to attract funding. Second one is involving students to your projects. And third one, maybe not very important, and maybe not. It's a way to increase chances for win, because usually we have everything for this skill in those institutions that provide CAD design. And you see, I think that I show you some other screen. Just a minute. Just a minute. А где? Где здесь у меня? Здесь это есть. Почему этого нету в этом?
Много вкладок. Много вкладок, все говорят.
Закрой их тогда.
Это не нужно?
Это не нужно. Это не нужно.
И свернуть, а свернуть. Где зум?
Зум, не знаю, где зум, где-то. Yeah. Here we have article from Rico's site. I believe that everyone know this corporation, and I can share this link to this article later. Слушайте, а что у нас с переводчиком? Окей. You see 6 essential skills for additive manufacturing. Now we have quite a lot of materials about additive manufacturing, and even huge companies from Big Four, I mean Deloitte and Touche and McKinsey, run special branches especially for additive manufacturing, and they have a lot of materials and a lot of articles about additive manufacturing too. But here on the RICO site, I find very good structure that explain what include in additive manufacturing, what it consists of. Definitely, first one is computer-aided design. The second one, design thinking, finishing, safety, and reverse engineering, and critical thinking and soft skills. It's look like our world skills standard specification or world skills specification that we have now, WSOS. So in our skill, just a minute. А кто-нибудь вообще видит, что я демонстрирую или нет?
Да. Да, все хорошо.
Ага. Just a minute. Моя презентация видна сейчас на экране или нет?
Да, да, видна.
Ага. Well, we include most important elements in our additive manufacturing skill. And now it is 3D scanning and analyzing, scan-to-CAD and redesigning. And this is a very important moment. And again, I need to compare reverse engineering, of course, as a part of additive manufacturing, and additive manufacturing with CAD design. Because it is very frequently asked question, what is the difference? If we compare them, I think that CAD design will look like obstetrician or accoucheur, the doctor that gives life, gives new life. Additive manufacturing in this period help us to improve something, to make things better, to make them differently. Also, we have a lot of situations when we need to repair something, to improve something. In very usual life and in isolated territories like islands or in the north. So additive manufacturing looks like surgeon, doctor. So CAD and additive manufacturing quite similar and very different in the same time, because we have a little bit different goals. Then build preparing and analyzing, and 3D printing and post-processing. Additive manufacturing skill is a branch of engineering. And that means outcome of this skill is clear for quality defining and measuring. Most of our assessment, most marks in our assessment is objective. That's quite clear. Additive manufacturing skill competition doesn't require extra large footprint. It's true. You can see it's quite like to CAD design and dislike CAD design too, because of this huge tractor in the middle. That's what I say in the beginning. We usually use some eye stoppers for media especially, but we use these eye stoppers in competition too. We use it for scanning and for redesigning some parts. What we need? It is a very common question from all of you about infrastructure. Definitely most important thing is graphic station is a computer, powerful enough, as we usually use for CAD design or other graphic design. And 3D scanners only. Yes, I understand quite well that time to time scanners incredibly expensive. But in our competitions, usually we use quite reasonable 3D scanners. Here you can see in China, not reasonable one. It is a Creaform laser scanner. And it, again, for the mass media too, because we use not only simple equipment, but equipment for growing too, and equipment for mass media especially. If we would organize championship only for us, only professionals or, for example, only for students. We could use nothing, just computer, very simple scanner, and table, and it will be enough for us. But we need to attract new talented students, new students to our educational institutions. We need to attract media, and we need to attract decision makers, and we develop our skill as a not only world skills project, not only educational project, but as exhibition project too. That is why we try to find suppliers for all our championships. Even we don't have this equipment in our institutions, we tried to find some supplier that could give us very expensive, maybe incredibly expensive, and very interesting equipment. This equipment is very interesting for trainers, for experts, because it is a chance to try to use this expensive equipment. It is a chance for our competitors to test it, and it is it is maybe goal for the future to develop, to understand what we need to get to our educational institution to get better result in the future, if you see what I mean. Additive manufacturing skill doesn't require a lot of materials. Yes, it is also a difficult question because of 3D printers, because of additive machines. We need some materials for them, and we need to use some maybe expensive 3D printers, some additive machines in our sites during the competition. Yes, it could be quite expensive, but now here, during these days, I think we can find some decision that will be convenient,
Suitable.
that will be appropriate for all institutions in all countries. We need to decide this together. Have experience of FDM printers using just simple and quite cheap. And we have experience of DMG SLA machine using. We need to decide what would be better for us to develop it. Also, we need some parts for 3D scanning for championships. Usually we use car parts because they are difficult enough from one side and they are quite reasonable or even cheap from other side. Competitors do not need bring toolbox with themselves? Yes. Usually they don't need. Usually our partners give us all equipment that we need. Definitely they can bring own caliper or something else, but I couldn't understand what for. Time to time, it is very important that it is very important because of our WorldSkills regulations. We need to be environment friendly, and we are environment friendly. Our partners. Additive manufacturing skill in Russia, supported by global partners of WorldSkills International. First of all, this is SIEMENS. If you see, because we have quite a lot of elements in additive manufacturing skill, such as scan-to-CAD and redesigning, build preparing, and analyzing, and 3D printing and preparing for 3D printing, first of all, for support creating, and all of these stages, we need some software for all of these stages. And it would be better to have only one single application that could us to do all these things, to accomplish all parts that we need. Definitely, we couldn't use Siemens NX or Solid Edge for 3D scanning, but we could use Siemens NX for all other parts. In Russia, before this year, we usually used not only NX, but mostly Geomagic Design X by 3D System. And I asked 3D System about support, but they refused and told that WorldSkills is not interesting for them at all. We have, in WorldSkills International, we have good partner Siemens. I offer to support us to Siemens, and they accept. They told us that they will give all that they could give, for example, NX and special plugins for NX for additive manufacturing and CAE and preparing, so on and so forth. That is why Siemens NX. Definitely Mitutoyo and DMG MORI. DMG MORI support us in Russia, and DMG MORI supported us during Kazan championship in Kazan last year. But as I understand, it will be serious question for some countries, or maybe for all of countries that decided to join to this skill, because DMG MORI quite expensive, incredibly expensive for most educational institutions. So we need to think together which one technology or which one technologies, which one material or which materials we will use. It could be FDM printers with industrial plastics. It could be FDM printers with metal printing. I believe that most of you are aware about this technology. And this one way will be maybe most reasonable for us at that moment. But also we need some interesting. We need also some eye-stopper in our site in Shanghai. And you can see just a minute here. In Moscow, we used DMG MORI. So we could use DMG MORI or some metal printer that will be attractive for mass media and for decision makers too in Shanghai. Not for competition mostly. Maybe only for finalization, for finalizing some module, maybe not for assessment result in this period. We need to discuss this question, and I believe that we will find a good decision for all of us after these 8 days. Well, this is last one slide of exactly this presentation. During this presentation, I tried to explain difference between additive manufacturing and other skills, and give you some view how you can use it to get something useful for you personally and for your educational institutions. Let me ask you for the short break for 15 minutes. And I believe that you also need a short break for 15 minutes because I believe that I know that it's quite difficult to hear and to see so long presentation. Thank you very much. We will meet after 15 minutes now. Yeah, at 10 o'clock. I think it would be great. If you have some question, please ask them. If you would like to change something in my presentation, I'm open. I'm not mentor here. As Socrates, I know that I know nothing. And I believe that we can sum our knowledges and build great skill. Thank you very much. Мне нужно выключить микрофон. У меня выключается. А где он у меня выключается? Здесь-то я знаю. А ее не видно, переводчицу, она сидит отдельно от камеры.
Сейчас напишем, а вот появилась.
Perfect. Мгм. Well, I think we can continue. Jenny,
Are you here?
yeah. Please, please stay in the window. I'm going to look if you stop or not. Dear colleagues, let me ask you to introduce yourself and your institutions. Let me ask you to tell about you. We have a panel at the right of our screens. And I ask you to use this order to tell about you, to introduce yourself.
The first is
I'm sorry, maybe I mistake in spelling. Sritam Mishra.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
We hear you. Yeah. Could you introduce yourself and tell about your institutions and what is interesting for you?
Sir, I am from Shivaraman Engineering College, Bhubaneswar, India. From India, I'm from India, and I'm like to interested. I'm interested in additive manufacturing because I here our college. So our college represent additive manufacturing skill, and they go to they show our student to participate in additive manufacturing. So I am interested, and I am thanks to my college because they give me a chance to join here, and I am now I'm joined here.
Thank you very much. Are you in WorldSkills already?
Yes, I am participating in WorldSkill. Now I'm I am participating for 2021. So here the COVID-19 situation, pandemic situation. We are in home, so I am participate for 2020 World Skill.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next one, Andrik. Andranik, sorry.
Да, извините.
Andranik, we couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I just have a problem with my internet connection, so I don't hear you last 5 minutes.
I see.
What question you give me? Please say it one more time.
I asked to introduce yourself and your institution, and you're interested in additive manufacturing development.
Of course, yes, because I think it's a very important topic, and I have a 3D printer in my home, and it can help me use it most truly.
Are you a trainer, teacher, or? What is your occupation? Sorry.
I'm a student.
Ah, you're a student. Okay. So you could be contestant.
Yes.
Ariane Kaship. Ariane.
So good afternoon, everyone. I am Aryan Kashyap from Severam Global University from Bhubaneswar, India, and I got this opportunity to be the part of this camp, and I feel very lucky about it.
What institution are you from? Are you a contestant?
Я не понял, он назвался учебное заведение?
Я думаю, что Сирия. Ну, можно уточнить.
Sorry, something wrong with sound. Could you repeat, please, institution and occupation?
So I am a student doing my bachelor's in engineering, in mechanical engineering from
Это он студент из этого.
Да.
Явно индус.
Может попросить написать, наверное, лучше в чате. Я так напишу или... Это пишу.
Они все куда-то пропали.
Может, у нас интернет?
Come on, colleagues. You can continue. If you see a pause, you can continue because you have the same order.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Satyanarayan. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Satyanarayan, and I'm pursuing my BTech from UV Raman Global University, Bhubaneswar. And I want to thank to my college, to my university, and also to Russia, the World Skills Russia, to give me this opportunity so that I can learn about additive manufacturing. And I think our college has, and I think our college provides us center of excellences, so we can learn from there also, and it will be a great, it will be very grateful to be a part of this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bei Hai Singh. Am I right? Ariane, could you switch off microphone? Thank you very much.
Hello?
Yes? Oh, hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you here.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
I met you in Kazan last year.
Yes, many
Yes.
times.
I'm very happy to meet you. And this year we have one team to take part in AM skills.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope to learn each other with other countries. Hope we can enjoy this training, and we can learn a lot from this training. Thanks for your effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're trying to do our best.
Okay, okay.
Yay Prakash Yadav.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon to one and all. I am Jaiprakash Yadav and I am pursuing my bachelor's degree from C.V. Raman Global University, Bhubaneswar, India. And I am interested in doing this course. Thank you.
Thank you. Kadali Siva.
Hey, hello, good afternoon, good morning,
Hello.
wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am from Singapore. I am a lecturer in Nanyang Polytechnic. So we have Additive Manufacturing Innovation Center in our Polytechnic. So we are very interested to participate in this skills competition. In fact, we are evaluating, how feasible it is for us, because the format itself having certain sort of equipment, scanning, softwares. So my intention here is to really evaluate, are we ready for this competition or not? Yeah, if we are ready, definitely we want to take part in next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lucas, are you here? Lucas, could you hear me? Lucas Archer, Australia. Maybe not. Manas Rayan Mishra.
We can't hear you.
Кто-то говорит?
Да, Манас Ранджан говорит, но его не слышно. Он выключил микрофон. Можно сказать, dear Manas.
Manas, could you switch on microphone?
Good afternoon, one and all. I am Professor Manas Ranjan Mishra, working in CV Raman Global.
Manas? Couldn't hear you. We can't hear you.
Я в чате написала, чтобы просила, чтобы лучше написали, что соединили микрофон.
Да.
Можно кого-нибудь хорошего, наверное. Не знаю, не видит чат или нет.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Sorry for interruption. I'm Manas Ranjan Mishra, working as professor in CV Raman Global University, Odisha, India. So our university giving facility to our student to take part in world skill competition. Though this additive manufacturing, it is advanced, and we are fast for the first time that we are going.
Алло. Да, говорите.
Может быть, я скажу тогда, что плохо слышно, что, может быть, в чате...
I feel that this technology is very advanced. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Lucas, are you here? Could you hear us? Can you hear us? Lucas Archer. No. Ну, у меня такое ощущение, что все. Well, if that's all, we can continue.
А там еще люди есть, нет? Чуан, Ван... Все. Или это другие?
Well, no.
А Лукас пишет, что его микрофон не работает в чате. Вот. My mic is not working. Внизу там самое.
Oh, yeah. I see. Hello, Lucas. Well, I'd like to introduce you sample of test project that we used in Kazan.
现在想给大家来介绍一下喀山那一次我们所用到的一些样品，来为大家介绍一下样品的项目是怎么样子的。
Где она здесь есть-то? Ё-моё. Не вижу. Вот она. Yes. And in fact, we have first model here that
那我们可以
connect
在这
with,
里看到第一个模型，
with 3D printing.
就是用3D 打印来完成的。
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Alexei. Can you make bigger the screen? Looks like the text not easy to
对不起，
read.
打扰您了，可不可以把这个屏幕放大一些呢？
Yeah. Just a minute.
I think on the bottom you have zoom. You can zoom a bit bigger.
Yeah, I see. Just a minute.
Yes, yes, Alexei, could you close the the window on the left side, please? Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
In this case, just a minute. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, much better. Here we have lens bracket,
那
STL
现在我们可
model.
以看到的是第一个项目，
They needed to make align it.
这个项目
Then
就是让大家来做一个3D 的扫描，以及质量的优化，以及重量的优化的过程。
then create a model by STL file. After that, they needed to optimize it.
参赛者会获得一个 STL 格式的文件，然后他们的目标就是来优化这样的一个组件。
And finally, get something like this. This is sample not from task. I just added this picture to explain what they need to get finally. And prepare model for printing with DMG. Second one was reverse engineering of this part. You can see it has a lot of defects, and they needed to create proper model. I'll just a minute. I'll show you the model a little bit better. Hello. They got model like this. You can see here mistake of, I don't know if it was mistake of 3D scanning or if it was mistake of milling. I think 3D scanning in this case. It has a lot of mistakes in these small elements, and they needed to find these mistakes and improve them, to correct them, fix them, and get a proper model with nominal sizes. Like this. This one, model about 3D printing again. Competitor has got some broken part or 3D scan of broken part or 3D scans of broken part, and some parts to some parts for alignment, and he need to recreate this part and rebuild it, and then prepare for 3D printing. And 3D scanning model. We have some different parts with different surface conditions, semi-transparent, with complicated geometry, and glossy. And we need to get some result of scanning, and we assessed the quality of scanning, of 3D scanning. And last one, sort of metrology task. I told you about expensive equipment that we time to time use in our sites and in our tasks. This is one of them. We had airplane in Kazan, small one, and they didn't know that it would be will be airplane. We give them laser scanner with arm, 6 or 7 axis, and they didn't use, no one of them used such equipment before this. We give them some time to know how to use it, and they need to use this equipment for the measuring and finding some important dimensions according to task. So here you can see some brackets of wings and from airplane, and so they need to find these measurements. That's all. But I ask you to remember that it is only sample. We need, during this training, we need to discuss and decide what we think is important and what we will include in task for Shanghai. If you have some questions, please ask them by chat or personally to me by Telegram. Just a minute. Do you have any questions, colleagues? Well, concerning our plans for next 2 days, tomorrow and after that, on a third day, we are going to provide a sort of course. We will show you real tasks from our experience. Manas?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Actually, can we get this task or where it will be available, this task that you have shown? So can we refer or see that or PDF or where it will be available?
Sorry?
So we want to review the task in PDF or material so that we can
PDF file with task.
Okay.
Okay. We can give you this PDF file. We can put it in Telegram, but I'm not sure that it definitely we will do this. But I need to underline that we need to create, in fact, completely new task for the Shanghai. So we can use this one as a basement, but
yes.
You see. Well, I'll continue.
Okay. Okay.
Concerning our plan, tomorrow and in third day, we will provide a sort of course with our trainers that who will show to your contestants, to your competitors, how they do a sample of test projects models, and will ask to questions of your competitors if they want to do the same. As I told before, we used GeoMagic DesignX before for scan-to-CAD process, and cause of virus, because of COVID. We only start our course with Siemens NX. So I'm not sure that it's so important because they use quite similar principles for the processing, for the work with STL files. So you can use GeoMagick if you have, or Siemens NX if you have Siemens NX, I think, now. And then we will have 2 days with sort of simulation of championship, of competition. We will give maybe simplified tasks for these 2 days, one for every day. We will try to accomplish these tasks. And then in next 2 days, we will try to evaluate, we will try to assess these projects, these tasks, and find out how we can assess them. I think we need some break again in next 10 minutes. But before break, I tell about this day. I thought about assessment training, but presentation that you will see will not real assessment training. It will show you just elements of assessment and our invention in it that help us to assess automatically some models.
Там спросил Ария, какое программное обеспечение используется для аддитивного для производства? В чате. Ариан.
Yeah, Arian, as I understand, you ask about software. Maybe you miss. Our global partner become Siemens. So now, I mean, for Shanghai, we will use Siemens NX or Solid Edge if somebody decide to use Solid Edge for some elements. Solid Edge. Тоже Siemens. Ты напиши Siemens NX and Solid Edge NX. We repeat this in a chat. But concerning to our skills camp, I think it's not so important which software we will use in Shanghai next year, because we are talking about principles mostly, and all software use also software for scan-to-CAD process and for optimization and for CAE And for model preparing for the 3D printing, use quite similar look like to each other. Maybe not equal, but enough. And it is enough for us to define principles of assessment and principles for accomplish of tasks, if you see. К сожалению, я опять не вижу переводчика.
Закончил.
Она, видимо, прекращалась, потом возобновлялась. Well, thank you. So, my proposal to make a break again until 11 o'clock for 12 minutes. Thank you very much.
А где у меня опять?
Hello, dear colleagues. We are quite near to end of this day. I'd like to tell you some about assessment now. I tell you before that most of our marks measuring. So we, in fact, I have quite a long presentation about assessment training. I'll give you it later. But now I tell only about elements that we have in this assessment training concerning assessment of models. It's explanation about measuring and judgment. Everything quite simple and not very simple in the same time. On one side, we can use a color map of deviations or deviation marks to decide if model proper or not. But usually it takes quite a long time because we have not only one competitor, or for example, we have, for example, 8 or 10 competitors, and we have a lot of tasks, and time to time experts may I ask to someone to switch off microphone, please. Well, and time to time experts have different opinion concerning someone exact point, and even we have measuring mark. It could be evaluated a little bit different. Concerning to proper models, everything quite simple. Model should have to be free of mistakes and extra edges. So you can see wrong one and proper one. The same situation. You can see two models, 1 and 2. And on the left side, we have very similar one. And if we will convert this one and this one into a STL file, time to time we can get very similar or equal result. But here you can see quite a lot of extra edges, redundant edges. Here, here, here. Usually in Russia, we thought that it is mistakes because we thought not only about additive manufacturing, but about digital direct manufacturing too. That means, for example, CNC milling with CNC machine. And in this case, all these edges become a serious problem. A sample again from our past. Here you can see tooth sector from very, very old car, Cadillac 56 or Cadillac 54th year. Real project. And this part was built with 3D printer finally. Very interesting task because it was made from aluminum, and it has a lot of damages and defects. I don't know what is it. Sorry. During its life, it lost some tooth, and in fact, only one tooth on this sector had proper angle of decline. So we need to check if everything were restored properly. And if we find some mistakes, we have to subtract marks. This part quite simple, but not always we have the same situation. Simple part and difficult enough task. Time to time we have quite difficult part with a lot of elements that could have some deviations from real objects, from objects with nominal dimensions. And in this case, we had some troubles before, because it took quite a lot of time. Other situation. Here we have model of can for oil. It was made by a designer, made from clay, and we have scan of this can of clay, and competitors needed to make proper model for production. And here you can see quite a lot of mistakes. Here, 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 plenty of them. And it is not very easy to be honest enough from one side, and from other side, it is not very easy to find all mistakes for all competitors. You can compare this one and this one. Scanning. Also not a very simple situation, because in scanning we could have a lot of mistakes too. For example, like this. We have duplication stitching registration here, and here we have three of this mistakes model. Here we have mistakes with auto treatment, and here we have different quality of surface and signs of auto treatment too. Here we have shift of stitching, because this part was scanned in 2 stages, and then result of 2 stages was registered, was stitched. And here we have mistake of stitching. You can see this line. Well, structure and texture of surfaces of digitized model should be correspond with original part. That means this is wrong and this is proper. Even we have a lot of missed data, we can use this one for scan-to-CAD process, and this one we couldn't. We cannot. Sorry. We're in the same situation with surface and with mistake of registration. And then we need to check if digitized model contain all necessary information. Because we need to use this model not for direct 3D printing, for additive manufacturing. We need it for scan-to-CAD process, and only after that we need to print it. We can use models with some missing data, but this missing data could allow us to rebuild, to restore all information. Now I propose to return to this stage, and we will try to show to you our new approach to assessment for automatization of assessment. I ask my colleague, our competitor from Kazan, Nikitu, to show sample of new approach to assessment. We will use GOM inspect. I believe that those of you who use GOMATOS scanners know this application. I don't know if we will use GOMATOS for Shanghai, but we have quite similar functions in Siemens NX. So if Siemens decided that we couldn't use, we will not use GOMATOS, GOM inspect, we will use Siemens and similar functions from Siemens NX. Please, Nikita. Дайте доступ. Так, мне где его давать?
Даша, ты чего?
Как у тебя?
Администратор вот здесь, да? Какой?
Ты на чем?
Как у тебя пользователь называется?
У меня
Root 4.
А администратор у нас кто?
Мне нужно просто дать.
Пока сейчас позвоним.
Нужно сделать.
Root 4, да? Да.
Алексей.
Yes.
Надо, понял, Root 4 надо дать возможность вам просто экран. Это кто?
We need a couple of minutes to give access to Nikita, and he will show.
Александр Засеева. 4. Никита, должно появиться.
Блин, просто где администром поставить галочку, чтобы могли администрацию делать.
Так у нас нет, у нас администром, мы сообщили, чтобы они поставили галочку.
Какого администром?
Вова, нужно.
Попробуй.
Попробуй сейчас. Все.
Все. Все. Окей.
Говори.
Давайте продемонстрируем процесс.
Так, может быть, ты отключишь микрофон? Или ты будешь говорить по-русски? Просто слышно. Наверное, это у всех слышно. Все. Угу.
Продемонстрируем процесс.
Можешь погромче чуть-чуть?
Продемонстрируем процесс автоматической проверки.
So, dear colleagues, can you hear me?
Они могут.
Thank you. So we will demonstrate to you the process of automatization of the assessment.
У нас имеется файл с заранее подготовленной стайл-моделью, которая давалась участникам в качестве задания.
We have the file with the prepared before STL model that was given to our competitors for them to make this model. On this STL model, there are control points. Certain points define certain surfaces that will be assessed in future.
Каждая точка показывает отклонение работы участника от исходной модели. В данном случае модель не загружена, поэтому ничего не отображается.
Deviation mark,
Point, every deviation mark shows the deviation of the competitor's results. But now, как еще раз, не загружено? But just now, this model is not loaded yet.
Все контрольные точки сгруппированы в таблице.
All the control points are in the table. You can see this table here. And in this table, in the last column, there are deviations. But now deviations are not shown because there is no competitor's model. So let's load the competitor's task project task. This job is loaded in the format of STP. And now we can see the model that was built by a certain competitor. And the matching of the competitor's model and the original model.
Сейчас мы можем увидеть то, что deviation mark красились в соответствии с деталью, показывают реальное отклонение построенной модели от исходной STL модели.
Now we can see that deviation marks or control points are colored with the colors that show the deviation of the original model and the competitor's model.
Все эти изменения отразились из таблицы.
All these changes are now shown in the last column, in the column deviation. Here, all the values are shown. And all these changes have occurred for the all points, for the all deviation marks, and we can demonstrate this. We can show this.
После этого этапа работа участника, то есть после этого этапа таблица с отклонениями выгружается в отдельную папку.
After this stage, this step, this table is exported to the special folder.
После этого загруженная модель участника удаляется из проекта проверки.
After this loaded competitor's model is deleted from the project.
И процесс повторяется с работой уже следующего участника.
And this process goes from the beginning with the project from another competitor, from a model, competitor model.
Точно так же у нас появляются контрольные точки на тех же самых местах, только уже с отклонениями для конкретной работы следующего участника.
Now we have the same points in the same places, but for another competitor, for another competitor's model.
И процесс повторяется.
And the process is being repeated again and again for the next new competitor.
После того, как все таблицы участников получены,
After we have all the tables from all the competitors,
запускается специализированный модуль проверки,
we run the special module of assessment
который включает в себя всего несколько параметров.
that includes only some parameters.
Первым параметром является допуск, который, соответственно, участники должны были построить свою модель.
The first parameter is the tolerance that all the competitors should fit their models.
И процент контрольных точек, которые должны быть в допуске для соответствующей поверхности.
And the percentage of deviation marks or control points that should be in this diapason. Yes. Good.
После этого указывается папка со всеми таблицами участников.
After this, we load the folder with all the tables from all the competitors and press test. And we have a window that says that everything is done, that assessment is done.
Программа не изменяет исходные таблицы участников. Они остались такими.
This program doesn't change the points of the competitors, they are the same.
Она создает новые. В данном случае создалась папка Result.
The program creates new folder, it's called results, and there are all the tables of all the competitors.
Создает новый файл с подробной таблицей для каждого участника.
And this program creates the new file with the detailed statistics for every surface and for every point. We can see here all these points and for all the surfaces and the values of deviation. And the percentage of labels that are in the diapason, diapason. And the result.
Помимо этого генерируется сводный файл по всем участникам.
In addition, the new file is generated with all results for all the competitors. The results from this table are loaded into CIS. And now the assessment is ended. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I am Siva Kodali from Singapore. I want to ask about this assessment. I'm just wondering, actually, like the software looks very impressive, like comparison everything, but I see that actually the points, the measurement points you are comparing is based on the STL file, right?
В STL файле
Все контрольные точки обозначены в STL-файле. Верно?
Они на STL-файле выставляются.
Original control points are on the STL file. Is there any particular reason, like why we cannot use a CAD file?
Почему мы не можем использовать CAD файл? We can use CAD file also.
Because the reason I'm asking is if you want to compare, the original file must be like a master, right? The master must be very accurate model. Then if you are taking a kind of a scan of some STL file, so how can it be comparable with the competitor's CAD file? So that's a kind of understanding I want to know. Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't catch your idea clear. I'm afraid.
Yeah. So the STL file is how accurate representation of the original the actual part. So because I see that the STL file with all those control points in metrology terms like a master, right? It's like a master. So so how you can have this master with the control points, how it will be the accurate representation of the actual the metal part or plastic part, how is the comparison can be done?
Yes. Definitely, this is a problem, and this problem should be solved by developer of test project. He should, this organization or person or group of persons should check everything and decide which one is okay or which one not. And he need to check if they can use this STL or other STL or not STL at all, and choose exact points, certain points that refer proper data to us during the assessment, if you see. But yes, we are just testing now this system, and in next national championship it will be first time that we will use it. So I think it has not only this one problem. I think that we will find more problems except beside this, but we need to develop it. And thank you for your question. And maybe you have, maybe not now, maybe you find more questions to this method. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. So please give us feedback about this situation or your proposals, how we can improve it. That is why we're here, all of us, not only me and Nikita and Moscow team, but all of us, all experts that interested in development of additive manufacturing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Да, выключение у нас тут. Well, dear colleagues, it was a final presentation of this day. I hope that you find some new and interesting for you. And I really hope that we will get some feedback from you. So we here for your feedbacks too. Please let us know if you think, what you think about development of our skill. What do you think about exact skills in it, about content of our skill and possible content of tasks. I understand that you have own experience in some parts of additive manufacturing or in all parts that we was talking about today. So it will be very interesting for us, and it will be very useful for all of us to collect your replies, to collect your feedbacks for sum up of our skills camp. See you tomorrow. Next day will be day for our students, day for our competitors. We will give them some sort of training.
Hello. Hello.
It will be interesting. Yeah.
Hello. Sorry
Yes,
to
yes, yes.
interrupt. Yeah. Can you please share the soft copies of the presentation in the Telegram group?
Можете ли вы отправить презентацию и все материалы в нашу группу в Телеграме?
Definitely, with pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lilia.
You're welcome.
Well, see you tomorrow. And type in Telegram what you need. Everything.
Thank you very much, Jenny. You are awesome.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, everybody. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Till tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Let's meet tomorrow.